This is part 2 on the myth of human needs and the constant programming in our language and vocabulary that, let's take even the example of sex, that a human being needs sex, right? This is another whole nother can of worms, because I'm going to go now to the incels, the involuntary celibates that are out there, because we have been programmed through media, through religion, through Hollywood, all around sex, that a human basic need is sex. Well, sex is a human basic need if you want to expand your tribe, if you want to keep the human race alive. But beyond that, it is used to try to satisfy emotional and psychological needs, unmet emotional and psychological needs. And of course, the programming, the indoctrination, the information that is out there is all coming from minds that live from a needs-based existence. This is what our society has been for thousands of years. This society that's built on our unmet psychological and emotional needs. We were programmed into that in this matrix, in the way we come into this world. It's all needs-based. That's why it can be so exploited, right? So I want to speak on this also, that we need to change the language around needs. No human being needs sex to meet their unmet emotional needs. That's just a band-aid. That kind of physical intimacy is just a band-aid for what's lacking on the inside. And all our social problems revolve around that. The involuntary encounters through rapes and other sexual acts. This is not because your body is screaming for sex. Your unmet emotional needs are screaming for intimacy. And it's really the intimacy with yourself that you seek. But you're trying to fulfill it through all of these external things, through the drugs, through sexual partners, through partying, through intoxication. These are all attempts at getting away from your self-hate, from your undesirable inner self-image, right? When we can address this problem from this angle, we can alleviate the pain of a lot of people, including the incels that feel horrific about themselves, about their physical being. They feel like they're unlovable and nobody wants them. We need to shift the focus to our inner core and teach people that your fulfillment lies within you, in your identity. But you gotta strip away the societal programming, layer by layer by layer, to find your beautiful divine soul. And when you do, you find what the Bible calls the pearl of great price. You find the source of fulfillment, the source of contentment, the source that we mistakenly called God as something outside of us. But it is you. It is inside of you, and it is your soul. Once you have found that, you can work with this magic of divinity, and you can restore your beauty from the inside. And all this other stuff that is plaguing people and causing mental anguish in people is going to burn away like chaff, because all of that isn't true about you. That's just the layers, that the lies that we were told stacked up, and they created this false image of ourselves and covered over the imago Dei, the image of God that our soul is. You see how this gospel of I am that I am, this gospel of self-realization, is the key to unlock all of our social problems and our human interrelational problems. Now, I'm a person who has never had a sexual relationship. Maybe in former years, I could have identified as an incel, because I felt, for one, I felt really low about myself. I had a real low self-image, and I could not possibly imagine how anybody would want me, right? Because I didn't want me. So celibacy became a choice, but it was a trauma-based choice. I felt too ugly, too undeserving to get entangled with another human being that potentially feels too unworthy and too unlovable. And because like attracts like, trauma attracts trauma, and what a mess that would have been, right? So it spared me a lot of karma, but I suffered. I suffered because I felt like I was never a normal human being for not getting my needs met in the way that society said, you should get your needs met. Especially missing out on sexual intimacy. But I see it different today. I'm a whole different person now. My trauma and my self-image has been healed or wholed, balanced, aligned, and I don't have any kind of hankering for physical or sexual intimacy. I'm fine. My fulfillment doesn't come from physical or sexual pleasure with another person. My fulfillment comes from within me, from being connected to my divine soul. And so I have this connection to the higher qualities of divinity or of God or of spirit interacting with me and as me all the time. I am fully tapped into the living waters that satisfy me, to where I don't need the physical touch of another human being. I don't need you. That's not to diss you, but that's just to express the reality of how satisfying this gospel, good news of self-realization can be. It's the key to solve all of our human issues.